Hey everyone, this is Black Woman 7 here, and today I'll be going over something very new to the channel, which we'll be doing a sort of a movie review for Detective Pikachu. Um, as you all know, Detective Pikachu came out this uh, last weekend. And honestly, like, just great, ready to get this out of my chest. Um, I actually liked the movie. Just from like face value. Now, of course, I don't think it's gonna be like winning any awards, any Oscars, or anything of that sort. But honestly, pretty much did its job if you want to like portray like the Pokemon world exactly, kind of like from the games or the any other medium they've showcased from time to time. Like this is probably their best rendition you're gonna get so far. So because like when you think about it, like for the I think past several like years, like people wanted sort of like a live action Pokemon movie, and then of all the options, it's like a very obscure one with I don't know, like pretty much a story based off a kid, or in this case, a 21-year-old who finds an Pikachu that has amnesia, but yet is able to talk to him or you know interact with him, and yeah, like and be able to hear his thoughts and opinion, his weird outbursts. So, to think that that kind of premise, that kind of like idea would work, and like would kind of been laughed at. But I mean, here we are today. So now let me just get right into the details. So let's go over some stuff I wrote down. So some of the positives I noticed about the film is I think it's like it's unlike most like Hollywood based video game movies. I think that it actually respects the source material very well, especially showcased throughout the trailers. And I what I like about like the movie itself is just that the world. I think the best moment parts of the film are the world building and the fact that like it's just all the Pokemon like showcased are very well designed, and the landscape itself, even Rhyme City and the all that like the areas you visit are just like it's just sort of like it's sort of a hallmark to how far we've gone with our CGI or whatever. But I think I know normally like people don't like talking about oh my god CGI is the best thing ever, or obviously sometimes we don't like talking about that or that's negative. But in this case, it's pretty great. Like it adds to the story, it adds to the environments, to the especially like make especially to like just the city environment as well or in the Pokemon. And of course, this movie is sort of heavily based off of like some movies I could think of, some noir or like cyberpunk movies. I could think of like Who Framed Roger Rabbit or Blade Runner, though kind of in a real, more kidsy way in a way, in the sense. Then again, like, and speaking of that, like, it kind of like the movie itself is sort of based on the fact that like you're like I think the main intentional audience is pretty much Pokemon fans themselves, or anyone interested in the Pokemon franchise for the past several years, and it's been following up. So if you've been following this movie or like has anything related to the franchise, it kind of rewards you like sort of just for watching it because you're gonna understand some things, some plot points that happen here and there. So and yeah, like it really just respects the source material very well. Like, and there's a lot of fun Easter eggs here and there. Like one of my favorite ones is like it's just like spoilers, but like there's like the Squirtles putting out fires. There is like these I think that this one's like like Panchams running around, and yeah, like and of course we have our test tube Mewtwo running around the city or whatever, or hence in the very beginning and whatnot. So, or whenever every time it comes up. So, yeah, like Detective Pikachu is just I'd say like the just the environment, the world building, they just nail it out of the park here, and it's like very rare for me to see that from a film in general. Like normally, you just like go to A to B, and there. have a good plot here and there. But this is like one of those rare films where like just the environments are just and the creatures themselves like realistic and you're just immersed into it. Now I will say that like the problems with the film are just more so the plot. Like towards I think the very beginning to the middle is probably the best part of the film because, like I said, it's like you're being introduced to that. Hence, and you know what's kind of funny is like they had that little like segment like a little bit into the film like where you know how every other Pokemon anime movie has that "Welcome to the world of Pokemon" type of segment. It has it here, but it's kind of a I don't want to say the that type of exposition wasn't necessary, but it was kind of like fun to see that as like a small Easter egg. But it's kind of like at the same time, it's kind of a brief overview. Like, hey, these Pokemon are here, and we just interact with them, and that's exactly what the whole point of the movie is. Like trying to interact with people. That's whole like companionship in general. I think that's like literally the main theme of it, the film. So now regarding the plot, Tim Goodman or Justice Smith is pretty much trying to find the whereabouts of his uh, supposedly deceased father, and throughout this, and early on, like he finds Detective Pikachu like probably around like the 30-minute mark or 20-30 minute mark, but I think the very beginning, like where they set him up, is somewhat weak in a sense that like I get where they're trying to go with it, his character, trying to have this like complex character, not like too complex, but more so like yeah, I get that what you're going for, but it kind of got overdone. Uh, I mean, mostly specific, like you know, him losing his father and whatnot, and like you know, trying to be more independent, just trying to move on from like you know, and from Pokemon and well, and in turn his family, so keep on with his life. So and it's just like you see that he's just thrust into this world of where it's like, well, holy well, well, great, like all these weird. No, it's not like he's already used. Like it's not like I'm not saying that oh, he's not used to it because obviously clearly like you see in the movie that he used to be a fan of Pokemon. It's just that he's kind of moved on in a sense. Like oh, I kind of have to go with my daily routine, daily life. Like, he has a job. Yes, like I think as an insurance broker or whatever. So I think Ryan Reynolds playing as Detective Pikachu just nails it out of the park for me. So the fact that his interactions with Justice Smith or Tim Goodman, it's sort of like it initiates the story, and literally like the very like the moment they meet, it's like, well, damn, like you already see like the interaction, like the very beginning, like you know the moment you meet them, like in the trailers, but the actual moment itself is just pretty. I would say it's kind of suspenseful and funny. So that's a great interact point there. And then like that's how like their journey just continues because they have sort of a common goal in which they want to find out what's the whereabouts of their of Tim wants to find out like the whereabouts of his father, while Detective Pikachu wants to find out the whereabouts of well of himself and both his dad of his Tim's father as well, or because well Tim has it like insomnia, or not him, but like the Pikachu itself has insomnia. So yeah, I think the whole point of the very beginning, middle was just great, especially like even the small like exposition like they had here and there. It's just it wasn't like it didn't drag the film. It just kind of thrust the audience into like what you're going into. So if you know Pokemon, like you're gonna get it. You're gonna get this like, and the best part about the film, and I think this is like probably like something I really enjoyed is that it doesn't follow that generic. Oh, we gotta have a trainer. We gotta have Pokemon battles. Yes, there are some Pokemon battles, and they're really well. Some of them are okay, and I wish that we have a little bit more. They're fleshed out, but the others are just like well I like that they didn't focus on like oh the whole Ash Red storyline because I just don't think they were gonna like Hollywood or whatever we do here would have just screwed that story up. So, and I think that's what makes Detective Pikachu like story like work because it's essentially an original story that doesn't have to like be entirely episodic. So, and it kind of works with the film. So, and a lot of the movie is like, speaking of that, like the movie does kind of slow down in like towards the middle. Like there are some really good scenes, by the way. Like don't be wrong. Like the Mr. Mime scene was fantastic, and like so was like the Charizard fight scene. That one's kind of funny. Like, well, like Pikachu's like, get me the hell out of here. So there's more to that in that scene. Like it's just like um when you're trying to figure out like what the where's this substance R came from. So which apparently substance R, this is a minor plot point, but it's something that's being used to like make Pokemon rage out, and that's something that's carried over from the film. So, or not film, but from the video game itself, or the side game. So, I'm actually kind of like glad they actually kept that plot point there. So, regarding other characters, I think they also like okay, Ken Watanabe, like I don't know if I pronounced his name right or correctly. Like he's kind of there for the plot, for the rest of the plot, and just to showcase, hey, you know, your father dead, and you know, that's kind of it. I just wish they had more for him, because I think that was kind of a wasted opportunity. And then Katrin Newton, I honestly think that like she kind of overreacted, or just the script. I'm not so sure which one's which, but it's pretty likely that the script was very like weak for her character. So I know she's supposed to portray like a reporter for like CNN. Pretty much a take on CNN. But the thing is, like, she's basically, yeah, basic. Like, she's just like an upcoming like reporter or intern that's just trying to get like a scoop, and I don't know. It's just like she reminds me of those characters from like if you ever played like in the actual games where like you find something and then they're like, oh my god, you found something, like you must know something as well. Like it's literally the whole point of her character. And then and then also the whole forced love interest part is kind of like I know like even like Ryan Reynolds like pokes fun of that, so that's kind of funny. Um so regarding like the other characters, Howard Clifford, basically that guy is basically the person who's like, oh, welcome to Rhyme City. Like he's pretty much the main person involved with regarding the whole technology. Like how like there's Silphco, there's Devin Corp and whatnot. Like he's pretty much like their own version of like a a corporation involved in like the city. So, and yeah, like this guy is pretty much like and also his son, who's played by I believe Chris Green. I like that guy. Honestly, I really did not like that guy's character. Maybe the script was pretty much terrible there. Like, it was just like, it's not that he was annoying, but it's more so like he didn't do anything for that film. So like, aside that one thing, which will probably be like towards the end, but I'll mention it. I do like the fact that they actually included like Otani's like voice, the original Pikachu voice, which is kind of nice. So I like that they included that part in. So as I was saying, like the very middle and end of the middle to the end of the film was just like pretty, I guess you could say, splintered off, because like from there it just kind of showed like they had like a very good opening and middle, but then towards like from the middle to the end, that's where like I think the plot unravels literally, and it just the pacing of the movie just doesn't go well with me. Don't get me wrong, the set pieces are amazing and the world building is still there. It's just that um, man, it's just like you don't know what the plot's going on. It's like at a certain point, and you can kind of tell. Yeah, I tried like I watched this movie like 2 times. I still couldn't like figure out the whole plot until like I had to like talk with people about it. So and yeah, and then like the whole like main like plot regarding I feel it's just I don't want to say it. It's kind of like it falls like sort of a string, and then like it just makes a complete plot point twist, and it's just like I'm like what the hell? And then like if you focus on some little things that like happen throughout the beginning of the film, you're probably gonna figure out what the whole plot of the movie is. So sort of like a Scooby Doo like uh story mystery. So yeah, that's kind of like yeah, that's pretty much what I have to say about the plot. But there is a very interesting payoff, which I'll say is like I did not expect the end. The very ending is, I guess you could say, rewarding. So I will mention that like I'm not so sure exactly how they'll do another one of these movies. So because like I know that they want to do like more sequels to this Pokemon franchise or cinematic universe, as they have called it, but you know, it really depends on like what where the writers go and take it and how receptive the fan base is. So. And I honestly think like the best way they could approach that kind of story regarding like I don't know if they should approach an Ash story because it's just like I think it's just they would probably make it so convoluted or so rushed. I think that's the one problem I have with the film is that it was too rushed towards the middle and the end. The pacing was terrible. But it's still funny if you ask me. Like Ryan Reynolds just carries the film like really well. Like some of the jokes were just fantastic. I think regarding the best parts of the movie is like the beginning scenes, like the Ryan City itself, and of course the Pokemon. Like they show, like every time they show the Pokemon or scenes with Pokemon, they really show them. Oh, they show off their details and whatnot, and it's just like it's pretty great. Like even like some scenes, like I think my favorite part of the scene was movie was probably the Mr. Mime scene. Even though like it was already shown in the trailers, like there's more to that. And really, I think it's just like um overall like I would say I would give this movie an 8 out of 10 or a 4 out of 5. Like I think the only problem I have is just the plot and the pacing of the story. But like it's one of those rare movies where I think like the visuals and the effects are really that showcase and the world building just showcase very well. So yeah, that's all I have to say about Detective Pikachu. So um, as vaguely as I could try to mention that. So yeah. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this sort of review. Um, and I'll try doing a spoiler review like in a week or two, probably in a week or like depending on what you guys want to hear me out on the spoilers and what my thoughts on them. So, anyways, catch you guys next time.